Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the RouG Pod, and today we are going to take a look at the top 10 free agents remaining that could probably help the Ravens take the next step into winning a Super Bowl. With the first wave of free agency being over, the signing of Lamar Jackson, and the NFL draft being concluded, we are going to take a look at 10 prospects that could possibly help the Ravens take the next step into winning more than just one playoff game. Now, even though the Ravens have upgraded the wide receiver position, there are still a few remaining options out there that can help fortify, add depth, and maybe bring in a few starters to help this team. Now, some of the key factors in determining who will be selected or who I think will help the Ravens is dependent upon the money they are asking for and the possible positions that they will play. Some may ask to move over to a different position to strengthen key areas of need, and some are just added insurance policies just in case someone goes down. Being a fan of the Baltimore Ravens, you should already know not a season goes by when we don't have a key starter go down with an injury, and it kind of throws a monkey wrench in our plans. This way, we won't have to scramble to sign anyone. We will already have the pieces in place needed to make that next step. Now, some of these guys are just straight dogs and can help the team get better, give us a stronger mentality, and a few might be some returning faces. So without further ado, I'm going to give you my top 10 list of remaining available free agents that I think can help the Baltimore Ravens make it to the Super Bowl. Coming in at number 10 is going to be RouG. Now, RouG's injury history may be the reason for his free agent status and why he is still on the street. The fifth-year corner only has 2 interceptions, but does have starting experience. In the 2022 season, he went on injury reserve in Week 13 with a knee injury, and the question is, will he be healthy enough to start the season and retain that quarterback 2 position that the Ravens desperately need? The soon-to-be 27-year-old has dealt with injuries throughout his 4-year career. He's played 15 games in his rookie season with the Colts, but hasn't played more than 13 games since. He has allowed a passer rating of 81.7 when targeted, which was 21st best amongst corners. And with him not having to be CB1, facing some of the lesser wide receivers in the league, even though most teams have 2 starting wide receivers, he will not play the designated number 1. I know that a lot of Ravens fans were high on him, but this is why he comes in at number 10 for me. The number 9 player, Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney is 30 years old and is coming off one of his least impactful seasons. He had 28 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 QB hits, and 4 tackles for loss. Now, the former number 1 overall pick may longer be someone who can be counted on for all defensive snaps, but he is still a disruptive force. He may not be the sack machine that everybody thought when he came into the league, but he can still put pressure on the quarterback and get you between 5 to 8 sacks in the right situation. Clowney does have 43 sacks and 13 forced fumbles throughout his career. His 75.8 PFF grade was the 27th best amongst edge defenders last year, and he recorded a combined 11 sacks over the past 2 seasons. Any team looking for a decent starter that can mentor some young talent should be interested in adding Clowney. And as you know, the Ravens have a plethora of young, untapped talent on the team. So bringing in someone with veteran presence can undoubtedly help them learn, as he also still can be a very impactful player. Coming in at number 8, Cameron Fleming. Not a very flashy signing, but Fleming could also provide depth or take over the starting right tackle position. I know that some are high on Morgan Moses, but his position can be upgraded, and it should. Op, as Moses is formerly known, can make some outstanding plays and then turn around and tackle his own QB. Now, Fleming is going to be an asset to some team this season. The 30-year-old made starts for the Broncos last season at left and at right tackle, earning a grade of 72.6 from PFF despite giving up 7 sacks and 6 penalties. Fleming could also be an asset as a swing tackle just in case someone gets hurt, and can fill in admirably on the left side. Fleming has started 15 games for the Broncos last season, with 9 of those starts coming in at right tackle. The veteran offensive lineman allowed 28 pressures and 7 sacks on 605 dropbacks, earning a PFF pass grade block of 74.2. Now, I know that offensive tackle is not a particular need at this time, but upgrading the position is a must, in my opinion. Number 7, Justin Houston. Yes, coming into the season, Houston will be 34 years old, but the 6'3", 270-pounder is still a beast and transitioned to a pass rush specialist role in 2022. He was a leader in the Ravens locker room, and for a stretch of the season, he was the only pass rusher that the Ravens actually could count on. With his age, he can't be counted on to play the majority of the snaps, but he has shown he still has the burst to situationally get to the quarterback. Also, I think that another year of tutoring and mentoring Owe and Ajabo would not be such a bad thing, as those young guys are still raw and have a lot of learning to do. Number 6, Frank Clark. If there's a team looking to add a veteran presence who knows how to win in the playoffs, there is no better fit than Frank Clark. Clark has 10.5 sacks in only 12 playoff games with Kansas City and was instrumental in 2 Super Bowl runs. So if you were looking for someone with a playoff pedigree and makes big plays in big games, then he is definitely your guy. His regular season numbers may not jump off the page. He certainly hasn't been as productive as some of the other free agents who are still available. Clark has shown up when it counts for Kansas City over the last 4 seasons. Clark will be 30 years old when the season starts and only had just 5 sacks last season. At this point, it might be best for him to take on a smaller role, given his diminished production. However, he still holds up as a good pass rusher. Number 5, Dalton Risner. Now, Dalton Risner is not going to transform an offensive line, but if he is the weak link in the chain, then you have a damn good offensive line. He's dealt with minor injuries that have kept him out of the lineup for a few games in years past, but he's delivered solid results when he's been healthy. He isn't going to kill your team in pass protection, and according to PFF, Risner has allowed 4 sacks or fewer each year and never has drawn more than 4 penalties in any season, which is something that the team needs because we have so many players that have undisciplined play. This is something that Harbaugh will definitely appreciate. He may never be a Pro Bowler, but he is a steady starting guard. He could be a nice stopgap player until the younger players develop and get up to speed with the NFL game. He could also be a nice insurance policy for next season if Kevin Zeitler is not re-signed. Number 4, Yannick Ngakoue, another former Raven. Even though he did not play a full season in Baltimore, they only used him as a part-season rental. Now, with Wink Martindale gone, Mike McDonald could possibly get something out of Ngakoue that other teams definitely have. He may be a one-trick pony, but it's a pretty good one trick. Bouncing around the league, the pass rusher averages 9.3 sacks per year during his 7-year career, while never registering fewer than 8 in a season. He could be supremely ideal for sub packages. He's played for 5 different teams over the last 4 seasons. While he has had at least 8 sacks in every year of his 7 seasons, he's a bit of a one-dimensional player. And at 6'2", 246 pounds, he's simply not a good run defender. He doesn't have the strength to anchor against the run, nor is he good at setting the edge. With all that being said, sacks sell, and teams can always use another pass rusher. It could all come down to the money and how the relationship is with the front office. Ngakoue's best season came in 2017 when he notched 12 sacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 3, Donovan Smith. When it comes to left tackles, the 8-year vet isn't exactly elite and commits a few too many penalties. That being said, he's durable and has almost always been fairly reliable as a pass protector. While the Ravens would need him to transition to the right side, I think it would be worth the move to bring him in. He does have that championship pedigree and was responsible for protecting one of the greatest QBs of all time, if not the greatest. Playing left tackle for the previous 8 seasons, he is used to going up against the league's best pass rushers. And with the Ravens transitioning their offense to a more pass-dominant scheme, pass protection has become that much more important. Once again, it all comes down to the money and his willingness to play on the right side. He would also give us insurance just in case Ronnie Stanley went down. Number 2, Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters may not have been the MP of old, but writing him off as washed up is premature. Peters, coming off a knee injury, had the worst season of his career, normally a 2-year injury for players to recover. And more importantly, he is one of the few that still embodies the motto, play like a Raven. And the number 1 free agent that can help the Ravens this season is Leonard Floyd. The Ravens are in a win championship now mode, and there is no need for maybes. With the uncertainty of what Odafe Owe and David Ojabo bring to the table as pass rushers, the Ravens need a proven commodity, and that commodity is Leonard Floyd. Floyd has started every game since 2018 and has 29 sacks over the last 3 seasons. With numbers like those, it brings to question why he is still available. Floyd was released by the Los Angeles Rams in a cost-cutting move just before free agency began on March 10th. So the move to release him was not based upon his ability. Now, perhaps Floyd's numbers are a little inflated from playing on the same defensive front as Aaron Donald, but his numbers are his numbers. But even still, he's a 30-year-old with proven durability and the ability to play a premium position. Floyd has played at least 80% of the snaps in each of the last 4 seasons. Now, if the money is right, the number 1 free agent on many boards could be the right piece to take the Baltimore Ravens to that next level. All right, thank you for joining me for my top 10 free agents that I believe could help the Baltimore Ravens this upcoming season. I appreciate all the love and support that you've shown this channel. You've helped me grow in ways that I never thought possible. If you are new here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that notification bell so you know every time I bring out a new video. I appreciate you rocking with your boy, and I'll see y'all next time. Out.